What's going on, everybody? We should be live. Welcome back. Another Friday. Getting everything set up. Everyone let me know if audio sounds decent. And we'll get kicked off. Making sure all this is working. Hello. Stabby Josh. See who all is here and checking in. I see that there was a bunch of chat going on beforehand. I was within a minute, so not too late. Anyway, tonight what we're working on, this is where's the truck I'm working on? It's over there still. I'll go get that. Hold on. Tonight we are working on a UMG 10 project. We actually built the UMG 10 base that we see here in front of us a number of weeks back on Friday Night Live. This build is not for me. This build's actually for a friend of mine. And this is his other truck that we also built on a Friday Night Live. And then the body got all painted by Suits and all of that. And I was needing to unpack some of the parts that he sent me for this, and it was included. This truck was also included. So this truck he never ended up driving. It is still like perfect. Anyway, it was full RX4 and the whole deal. Turned out to be a little bit more than I think he was looking to drive, and he had such a nice body done that he didn't feel like he wanted to scratch it with how he ended up driving. So it's back here, and then I'm going to find a buyer for it. But it's a pretty good. Suits did an awesome job. He put a wood bed in it, driver. It's actually turned out really good. But I just unpackaged that tonight when I was trying to grab all of the parts for this. This thing still, Mike J is killing me with the no audio, saying makes me jump and I have to look that it was him that said it and that he's just screwing with me like always. Anyway, what we're doing tonight, UMG 10 here in front of me. Not much of this UMG 10 is really going to end up on this truck when it's done. He has sent me a huge box of parts to go with it. I haven't necessarily gone through everything. He sent me a bunch of stuff that I don't. There is some VP portals in there, so those are going to go on. Those will probably be what we'll work on to start with, just to get this thing to sitting up where it should be. Then he also sent me just a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to kind of go through it because I don't necessarily 100% know what all is in there, but we're going to find out. He also sent an axe system that's going to go in here, but it's going to go not on this transmission. We're going to do a 3-gear swap over to a standard 3-gear so that we can run a dig. One more thing to knock out while we're at it. So let's jump into some, as you guys might notice as well, I changed the desk. Changed to a wood top rather than the previous one. Now currently it is still a raw wood top, unfinished. I hope to finish it this weekend. So gonna get a hardwood finish for the top of it. Get that on there. Not going full epoxy, just something that is gonna protect it from all of the things that we do. But yeah, right. Oak. I don't know what it is. Birch. Something, it was $100. So nothing. It is solid wood. It's not fake. It's the same wood top that I run on my editing PC desk that I built. But I just wanted to kind of like warm up the look. I think it looks better in here. It gives it, before it was so dark, black, super dark walls. I'm wearing black half the time. So I like it already, but I know I need to get it protected. So let's see what he sent. So I have a box full of stuff. We have the VP portals. We've got, these are some sliders. I don't know. These are from GRC. Stainless steel slide. We're going to see what those are all about. Here's something from Club 5, LCG metal battery servo relocation mount. So I don't know what that is all about yet. We'll see how that goes in. These are some shock towers. I would just say red shock towers. I don't know who they're by. Doesn't say. It's kind of some sort of no brand. We have some pivot balls. We probably won't install these because we'll probably do some stainless links on this. So that will come later. Here is an RC four-wheel drive Poison Spider Fairlead. We'll have to wait till we get closer to see what we can do with installing that on this bumper. It should mount right up though. Oh, we also have one of the DSM off-road self-recovery systems. If you haven't seen these are actually pretty cool. They're like a bungee system, but it routes through the vehicle, so it's got a lot of stretch. Then we've got an axe system for it. This is the 2300 kV. We're not going to be able to install this tonight because I don't have a 3-gear trans here for that yet. So I'll have to get that. These are some Patagonia, RC four-wheel drive Patagonia Milestars. So, but I don't have wheels for these yet. So we'll see about that later. Anyway, let's dig in. I think the best idea is to start with some axles, right? I foresee Josh snapping that cord into his head. Ooh. So, steal the trans out of the capper. I actually thought about that, but I stole the motor plate off of it last week for the Ripper. So it doesn't have a motor plate in it, and I don't have a motor plate here, so. But it did cross my mind. And the other problem is that if you don't assemble it with the motor plate the first time, it'll actually be hard to get to everything. You'll have to disassemble half of it. Well, I guess if I don't have the servo in, it's an option. We'll think about it. I'm jealous. This looks fun. Got VP scale hardware to put on the offering. Oh, yes. Nice. Good deal, Moose Jaw. All right. So the other thing we need to do is make sure not to get too much grease onto my new raw tabletop before I get it sealed. Let's see how that goes. Has 600 350 hubs and 6 bins of links. No motor plate. True story. Very, very true story. And no T-wrench. Nicole found a T-wrench the other day. Got it. She found one. She goes, "Were you looking for one of these the other day?" I was like, "Yes." And she handed it to me. I goes, "I don't really need it. I mean, use a pit mat." I could, but the pit mat that I had was huge, and I don't want to put it back on top. I'd rather have the video look the way that I want it to look, rather than the scratches aren't what I'm worried about. I'm actually worried more about like stains. So, but even then, I don't care that much. So, but we these are the portal axles just as they come. No different gear sets in these at this point. Down the road, could probably do a overdrive, underdrive, something like that, but it'll buff out. Yeah. It's just one. It won't be bad. I'll be careful. So grab some grease and some Loctite, thread lock, clear plastic dip the top. The Tony, who he just ended up, he was just finishing some, I don't know what he was finishing, some sort of wood top or something. He recommended a hardwood flooring finish for it that he actually has. Probably, you know, he's like offered it because of that. So yeah, oils from your hands and any grease can make finish difficult fish eyes. Yeah, I know what you mean. I will probably hit it with a quick 220, but also probably not. What else we got in here? VF Diggs back anytime soon? Should be. How about this? Wait a second. Is that bench new? Yes, the bench, the top is new. I decided I wanted a different look, changed it out on a whim. Actually, I've been wanting to do it. And so hold my bubbly and watch this. Thanks, Alex. Good thing Nicole's not here. Josh would have to smell the tires and she would spill. Yes. Yeah, Nicole had an emergency trip out of town. An unfortunate trip, but go back and spend some time with everybody. Be glad she was able to make it back. So, Josh, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do at Vanquish? So I've gone over it before, of course, but the you know, we're not a huge place, so there's there's quite a few employees, but there's 4 of us really that help run the shop, and I'm one of those 4 people. So it can depend on the day what I'm doing. It can be it's I try and handle a lot of or as close to all of it as I can as far as like product pricing, the web stuff, trying to get product launches going as far as making sure that we have all of the necessary items for, you know, getting the packaging the right way. And there's just a lot of little details, and you know, or it can be, you know, helping decide what new machines or scheduling what products we should be running next. And but again, there's 4 of us, so we all work together closely, and nobody does everything of anything. It's, you know, it's really just a there's not many boring days, I'll tell you that. So get the we got the ring and pinion, ring gear I'll put on at least. Get this all mounted in there, and then we will grease the 3rd member. Jesse is on fire. Thanks for the, hey, no problem. It's not a very complete story, but at least it gives you some idea. You know, there's times when I've had to be in there shipping packages. It's all, like I said, it all just depends on the day. 14 days of no accidents by your work. It's a record. Happy Friday. Did you get your 6.4 yet? I did not get my 6.4 yet. I don't know that I will be on that waiting list. While I think it was cool that Red Cat went out on a limb for what they did, I don't know that it is something that I will personally spend that much money on. Grease the What kind of batteries do I use? I use Gens Ace batteries, and it depends on the rig, of course, but I would say most of my batteries now are Gens Ace. I kind of been switching over the last few years as any of my old batteries get phased out, or I change up the sizes that I'm running. I just have replaced them all. But I run a lot of drone packs that are made normally for drones, meaning they're smaller. I run a lot of 4S packs, 1300 milliamp and 1800 milliamp 4S packs. So I like the wheel speed of 4S. So it's what I run in most things. And that's the drone guys run high quality lipos, meaning they have a high C rating, because having such a low milliamp, to be able to get the amperage out of it, you need a high C rated battery. So how you calculate amperage is C rating times amp hours, not milliamp hours, but amp hours. So 1.3 amp hours is a 1300 milliamp pack. Hey, Dale C, thanks for the donation. Hey, it appears you have a big stain on your shirt. I'm thinking you should probably change it. I hear you got a new one the other day. Dale, you know, it is going, one of these days, I'm going to, you know what? I am going to wear that shirt one of these Fridays, but it's going to be a wardrobe change late in the show. That just after the family hour portion of the show has expired. God. Still can't believe that shirt. Did anybody see the release of the new Proline SCX24 Power Wagon body? Because I love Proline and most of the Proline products, but I am going to have a really hard time getting behind that new SCX24 body. I feel like I'm going to have to roast that pretty hard on the Scale News update. it it is not good. That's the window trim looks like clown makeup. Like, jeez, so bad. It's so bad. It sure beats being called the Lloyd, right? So, like I said, I like Proline, but I'm not going to hold back my thoughts on this new body just because I like them. The good news is that YouTube is functioning well tonight. We're not having the technical difficulties like we did on Wednesday's stream, which were so frustrating to me. Oops. So we need 4 screws for the third member. Up there. I sure do enjoy building these portals. And it's not just because they come from us. It's kind of funny how far they have to, how far sometimes a product will travel before. There we go. Yes, if you haven't seen the new body, the SCX24 body, you should go take a quick look. And we'll wait. We'll wait here. We'll pause our conversation, go look, and come back. VP got FedEx now, 6 days to Norway instead of 30 days. Yes, Tor. FedEx. So I've been working with that's another example of some of the things that I do on a daily basis. While I do work in the RC business full time, very little of what I do is RC related, right? So talking with the shipping companies and negotiating the best deals and things like that is part of it. And I work with FedEx and UPS both pretty closely. And our FedEx, we got some new opportunities on pricing for some really good rates internationally, specifically. And yeah, so shipping rates got cut by like 60 some percent to go international, and the speed is way faster. So it's definitely a bonus for the international people. It was good that we could pass on the shipping savings too, because it was a, yeah, by all means, like, we would love to sell to international customers more often, but I totally understood why a lot of customers who were international were not going to do that. Like, they were going to buy through, a company like our Mart or something like that. But now we can ship in, you know, much faster, much cheaper. I was so happy to see that. And our international sales, because of it, have gone way up. So, all good news. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. Very, hey, thanks for the, oh, nine. Thank you, Rob. Happy, you know what? I didn't have anything to work on tonight. It was perfect timing to work on your truck. But yeah, it's funny, I decided to move cross country to work in RC all the time, and then I end up working with shipping companies and website companies all day instead. But still more fun than anything else. So I'm not mad. Got that in there. FedEx pissed me off today. Was supposed to get a new rig delivered to my work and didn't show up. It was a Snap-on 6x6 I bought on eBay. Oh, I do like those Snap-on 6x6s. So, axle shafts in. Knuckles. Just saw the Power Wagon SCX10-2. What did I do or didn't? What did I do or didn't do tonight? Mike, I don't know what you did yet, but we'll find something to blame you for. So now, start assembling some knuckles. Never thought I would say this, but that Power Wagon is trash. Yeah, like I said, big fan, Proline. Can't say it enough. My favorite tires. Someone was out. Someone was like putting off the project, and someone's like, "Is that done yet?" They're like, "Oh, yeah, it's totally done. Here, there you go." There you go. Saved you $24. You do not have to buy that new body for your Power Wagon or for your SCX24. Happy to help. Am I the only one that doesn't like the Power Wagons, period? I mean, obviously they're popular. The one thing is that I think that the Proline Power Wagon might not be nearly as bad as it appears in their photos if you don't run that window trim, which is awful. And honestly, I think that the patina paint job was a big mistake because it wasn't done very well. I think that they should have gone with a very traditional paint job on that, and they would have been in much better shape. If you do that, cut off the fenders and high performance style, I think that thing would be much closer to reasonable. Here's my guess. Proline redoes the photos of that body and fixes their mistake soon. Is it bad? I sort of like the Lloyd, but with heavy front end chop. There's no, yes, no matter what, there's no reason that you can like that Lloyd body. Like you can like the styling of the truck that it's modeled after, but that actual body is the worst. Come on. There we go. Get it square. Hey, let's let the new guy paint it. Yeah. That is what that thing looks like. After listening to the stream or reading the comments up, will be changed by the end of the day Monday. Have to agree. So, yeah. Not no good. Unacceptable. SCX24 looks like a sad Lloyd. That's one way to put it. There we go. Okay. Do I have everything in there? I believe so. Love the videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Josh painted that. Josh painted that body only after watching half of an SPG video that wasn't even about painting. You know what, Alex? I'm going to straight up steal your joke for the Scale News update. I'm not going to give you any credit during the actual video, but during this video, at least 335 people will know that my joke was stolen from you. Lloyd would make a good Mad Max vehicle. Yeah, if you melted it and used it as a prop that was a truck that was melted on fire. Because terrible. Thanks, I guess, Alex says. Yeah, there you go. You will get no further credit, but I wonder if Josh even is even subscribed to have his to half must mean half. I follow them on Instagram, I believe. Oh, speaking of, I need to find what Jesse's Instagram is because I see his pop up all the time, but then because I need to add him to the we have a group chat in there. Hey, Pleco Nation. So go. Oh, I've got that. Jesse Schultz. It's boring. Yeah, but it's more just because like we have a group chat on there. So I follow Alex on Insta. Yes. I follow Alex on Instagram just for the username Cupcakeosaurus. Hey, Pleco Nation, thank you for your donation, sir. Always thanks for tuning in all the time. Oh, all the cool kids got their own chat thing. I know, right? It's quite exclusive. Not really. Poor 10 knock. Or I don't know how you actually say that, but it looks like knock, so that's how I'm pronouncing it. Either way, thank you. Oh, wait, I used the wrong size bearing. I used the 6x12 rather than the 6x11. My bad. Dale C. Must have been reading the TF2 booklet upside down. I now have a two-wheel drive lowrider Toyota on deep dish wheels with drift tires. Any motor recommendation? Okay, well, I like where you're headed with it. Something like that. You're going to need a two-pole brushless. Man, what could you get that would be a I would look up like a, do you have an ESC already, or were you hoping to stay brushed? Because I would find a little brushless setup. Need to tune into the Baja 1000 live. Hey, Kevin, you're trying to pull people away from my channel. I'm kidding. I didn't actually watch any Baja coverage today. It was a slightly busy day, but should I consider the Losi laser nut for first rock racer basher? I've had, so mine has done well. I did bend a rear axle shaft the other day. Or actually, no, I bent the rear axle shaft a while ago. I haven't bent the new one, but so I know other people have had more issues. Personally, I like the bomber best, but it's not nearly as much of a basher crawler thing. Um, so yeah, that's, you know, six one, half dozen the other. So I don't have the, can't tell you that, yes, you 100% should or no. It's just going to kind of be, what's that thing with the rear wheel, falling off? Oh, what's this? Oh, so yeah, mine actually did that too. They, the stub axles are not very long, so there's not a lot of threads on it, and the wheel nuts just don't, like, aren't locked on. The wheel gets a little loose, and then it wants to just come off. And it happens. It's a it's a pain. Um, I don't necessarily know exactly what the solution for that is either. Um, hey, Dale, see, currently a rolling chassis and open motor ESC ideas. Okay, so if you're open on that, man, I would do. I'd find like a hobby wing. You don't need much. Like, this drift guy seems like those little 60 amp brushless with like a 13.5, something like that. With that gearing, I mean, make sure you get good grease in those axles. But I think something like that would be around where um, Woods Runner chassis, tube or rod. I've had both. The very original one that I built and what I actually designed the chassis templates off of were 1/8 inch rod, smaller rod, but 3/16 tube is the best, I would say. And 3/16 solid rod looks really good and is much cheaper and also easier to build with. So, can you recommend a crawler for 350 or less? Oh, sure. TRX4 Sport, SCX10-2 RTRs. There's a number of them that they're all still relevant and good. Element Enduro, pretty decent. Yeah, so something like that. And those should all be like $299 or less. So gives you some options there. Already built that. Already have that bearing in there. Okay. So we got that. We have the knuckles. There's the other knuckle. There's a guy that comes in to Hobby Shop, has at least 3 of every of the Losi tenacities ever made, and he has 2 laser nuts. One of them has a 6S system, and it comes in all the time for diffs. Gotcha. What was I running mine on? I was running mine on 4S. So yeah. But yeah. The Sport is 360? No, TRX4 Sport is not 360, is it? I thought this TRX4 Sport was 299. Am I totally off on that? Maybe I am. I keep having a hell of a time getting this bearing in straight. Probably because I'm not paying very close attention. $339. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Do all the Curry axles come in parts, or is it complete this, or is the complete sets available? All of them come in parts except for the portals, which come complete. So those come, they come complete because everything is individual and separate, or is different than a stock vehicle. The rest of them are they're basically stock replacements. So you can buy something and put all of your stock parts in there. That's why. What was, sorry, I saw a question up there that I thought I was gonna wanted to answer and then missed it. Do you think Axial will completely discontinue the SCX10-2 platform? At some point they will. I don't know when though. Oh, Gigawatt RC, $2.99. Appreciate it. What was the PC channel you were on a while back? Oh, that was the Team EVGA channel. Matt, who I just saw pop in here, Matt and I were both on there. And, you know, EVGA, the maker of a lot of graphics cards and all that. And yada, yada, yada. So they were, it was a good time. That was on YouTube and Twitch and all of that. So that was, it was a good time. Matt and I had fun. I need to put the bearing on the inside. Oh, wait. And what did Matt say that I totally missed? $420 and a $69 surcharge. Matt's playing games tonight. Did I whoops. I need to I'll put that on there in a second. We're gonna put all of this. I'm gonna get this other one built as well so that I can get everything greased up before I set it aside. I'm starting a PC build. Matt and I as well. We have I went and bought a 4x8 sheet of plastic today for my PC build because I have lofty goals that I think I'm going to have a much harder time fully realizing than. Josh, have you reviewed the Losi LMT yet? No, I did not. I was not on that list since I'm not much of a basher guy. So I did not see one of those early. What is he building for, Lee? I'm building another set of portal axles for this UMG 10, which is going to have them installed onto it. Did you get the 64? No, I did not. I did not get a 6.4. Oh, the Matt is people talking about Lightroom Live for Matt. In case you guys need help with your if you need help with your photo editing, or I can help. I have some tips regarding vignetting and the proper amount. Matt never uses enough of the vignette. Really underutilizes such a powerful and amazing tool. Where'd the gears go? Oh, there they are. I found them. Mine does not involve a semi-truck, Gigawatt says. Yeah. I do. The only problem I have with building PCs is the builds are over so fast. And it's just like, is the PC going to be liquid cooled? Yes. Matt and I are both using it's a small 120 millimeter AIO, but yes, they're going to be liquid cooled RC semi trailers. Matt, Proline needs some help with a pick of the Pro SCX24. 4x8, was that measured in squares? No way, no way 4x8 would fit in your truck, in quotes. Very funny. I had the 4x8 sheet cut into two 4-foot by 4-foot sheets, which fit just fine in the back of my truck. Thank you. Very little. Even Matt can't edit that SCX24 photo. Matt, please touch up that photo on Tuesday. See if you can fix it. Let me make a suggestion. Heavy vignette. BRX01 from Boom Racing. Have you put your hands on it? I've seen one in person, just at the local hobby shop. It's not something that I've ever owned or built around. It's not something that I think would fit my style at all. It's got very little suspension travel. I don't think it's a very performance oriented. Does a Gladiator have a door or a tailgate? It has a tailgate, like a truck. Door would be like what the Honda Ridgeline has, right? Where it can swing this way or that way. Heavy vignette, or just make the screen all black. Fixed. The Ridgeline, nothing about it looks right. I agree. The Rams have the barn door tailgate also. Oh, that's right. I forgot that the tailgate wars the full-size trucks. All this crazy stuff they're doing. One of the partners at VP he's got a new GMC Denali, and it's got like the tailgate that the top half folds down separately and then turns into a step, and it's got a whole Bluetooth stereo built into it. Just an idea. Set the Proline Power Wagon on fire. Boom, fixed it. The Ridgeline is kind of like the Aztec. Just know. You know what? Here's the thing, though. The Aztecs became cool later. Ridgeline, that is never going to happen. So, what do you think of the realistic movement on the crawler? I don't know what you mean. No light vignette. Learned that the hard way. Yeah, you never go to the white side of the vignette. Always the dark. Aztec or Rendezvous? Buick's dirty cousin. The Rendezvous. What was the Rendezvous? Was an Aztec-ish thing? Why do I not really remember that? Ridgeline ran Baja back in the day. Yeah, I do remember the Ridgeline Baja build. I wonder how much of that was how much of it was there. If even the unibody was the same one. Hey, Scott Oblander. Ridgeline is the best vehicle I've owned. Ooh. Wow. I will say my brother had the Honda Element. Called it the Toaster. And he loved that thing. In his medical sales rep days, I think that thing was a workhorse for him. Drove all over. I think he put like 300,000 miles on that. Did you catch Super Scale 2020's newest video? I did not. It was totally a tube chassis truck. Honda did make the engine though. Well, Honda can make an engine. I don't think that's even worth debating. Honda engines, pretty. Ridgeline equals Japanese El Camino. I like it, Ben. Good work. My old Galande wagon was a champ. That Galande wagon, is that an actual G wagon, huh? I guess that's pretty cool. I think those are still cool. Rendezvous and Aztec were the same platform. Huh. I always thought the Rendezvous was more like a... Granted, I know... Oh, I guess, yeah. I know that they're different brands, but I always thought the Rendezvous was more like a Pacifica, but I guess that's basically what the Aztec was, too, in its day. I miss my Ford Ranger. Jesse Schultz. We're going to have words. Those are things that no one's ever said. think we'll see a Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 392? I do. I know that I would not have been able to drop that kind of money on one, so I'm not mad or I'm guessing that we won't see a 392 on a lot anywhere for under 70 grand. Those things are going to be spendy. Super cool, but spendy. My element's name is Opie. Ridgeline is better than the Ranger. Scott just dropped it. That's a bold choice. That's a bold saying for a unibody truck with a trunk in the bed. Did anybody else catch me just sticking my finger right in the grease? I don't know what I was doing. Gonna be one of those nights, fellas. The trunk is awesome. I mean, it's a functional cooler, right? I mean, that part of it's pretty cool. Was that? I would have gotten the Eco Diesel Gladiator if it were. Would you have gotten it if it was more available? No, I don't. I feel like I just didn't hear enough good about it to want to do it. What was that noise? It's called a raspberry. The only reason I know that that's what that sound is called is because I watch all of like my movies and TV with the captions on, and when someone does that sound, it says blowing raspberries. So let's get more grease on the gears. All right. Where's Mike J? Oh, he's around. He's been causing problems already. Bring out the funny. Phoenix has got. What is happening in the comments? I don't understand. Oh yeah. I need hardware. I think I'm mixing up my. I didn't open all the hardware. Not really sure why I decided to build in this order, but I did. Does a Gladiator drive like a highway rig or a low geared like a Jeep? Oh, it drives the new 8-speed transmission. That thing is a dream to drive. My JK is an 09 and it's got the awful motor and the even worse transmission. So it is not a what I would say fun vehicle to drive, really. Now, I've put 185,000 miles on it. Lots and lots of road trips. Drove it to Canada. It's been East Coast to West Coast. I mean, it's been everywhere. XJ with a 4-liter inline 6, best Jeep ever. No XJ is the best Jeep ever. I don't care what motor it has in it. But I did love my 4 liters. I had my 02 Wrangler was a 4-liter and it was a great motor. But yes, the 3.8 is definitely a minivan motor. But the 3.6, the Pentastar motor, it's a good motor. But the transmission is really the all-star there. Why no XJ, Josh? Just no. XJ was one of the best Jeeps made. I don't know why you would say that. Like, your username doesn't give away that at all. I am an XJ hater. It's a unibody leaf sprung truck. It's everything I don't like. I've had a lot of fun in an XJ, but they're not the best Jeeps ever made. I will stand behind that. Do you like the CJs? I love some of the CJs, and I do know that they are still leaf sprung, but I do still love CJs. And the Commandos, Jeepsters, even though they had kind of a funny front end, they had some really cool styling in ways. Even the Grand Wagoneers, those are cool. So Josh hates trucks, leaves in the rear. I don't hate all leaf sprung vehicles. I'm just saying. Why would you buy a JL with would you buy a JL with long travel IFS? No. I don't have any aspirations of going fast through the desert. So, that is not something I'm looking for. What about the Commander? Oh, the Jeep Commander? No, not a fan. Not a fan. Now, while I didn't like the XJ, the MJs I do think are cool. Because at least they're, they had at least like half a frame. Like the back half had a frame. XJs don't get Jeep waves. Fun in an XJ. That's the thing. You can have more fun in an XJ because after you would wreck them, there was only a $500 Jeep that you wrecked. Now the costs are going way up, but you'd wad up an XJ and just leave it in the woods. Like, oh, we'll come back for parts if we needed it. MJs are so hard to find these days. And the prices keep going up and up and up. What kind of international? Any interest in normal cars like Audi? I have interest in all cars, but I don't necessarily know nearly as much. Actually, I think one of the images that popped up on my photo memories today was of my oh yeah, there's my 800 when it was in the driveway getting the top cut off of it. The random photo memories that pop up on the top of my iPhone. Oh, did I miss a donation? I think I did. Quack RC, thank you. Appreciate it. So, Origin Inspiration. 67. I do like old Broncos, but that photo was of a 60. What year is that? It's a Scout 800A. I think it's a 64. Can't remember. Josh likes donks. I do like donks. Not gonna lie. So. If it does not say Willys on the hood or the front fenders, does not fold down, it is not a Jeep. $63 to $65. I think that sounds about right. I can't remember exactly because it's not I can't remember where it changed from 80 to 800. Mine's an 800A, I believe. It is still back in the Midwest, though. I don't know that I will ever do anything with it. It will likely be turned into another project by a friend of mine. So let's see. Fun fact: Kaiser also built Willys Jeeps as they did Ford back in the day. Yep, yes, Kaiser, big producer of the brand back then. Let's throw a little bit of grease on here. Josh gave up his man card when he admitted he had a PT Cruiser. I did not have a PT Cruiser. However, my brother owned a PT Cruiser in high school. At, and I drove a Jeep at the time. I drove a Jeep all the way through high school. I had a 97 TJ, first year of the TJ. Um, I had a 97 TJ all through high school. I sold it when I graduated and got myself a red Corvette that I had for 7 months, and then sold it and got a new Jeep TJ. Went from a 97 to a 2002. Oh geez, why would you want a PT Cruiser? So it was actually the PT Cruiser that he had. It was one of the first 50 PT Cruisers ever made. It actually didn't really have the same interior even. It was like a pre-production thing. So it was like a PT Cruiser, but even a little less cool inside. When are you going to when are you going to build a motorcycle? Man, I miss motorcycles bad, but I don't know that I will allow myself to ride on California roads. Honestly, people here are just such bad drivers and so inconsiderate and dangerous that I don't know that I could safely even consider allowing myself to drive one out here. Convertible PTs are the holy grail. That's interesting. What about the convertible PT GT? GTPT? The little turbocharged. I'm watching yours and Formula Drift streams at the same time. Hey, I'll allow it. Thanks for watching. Have you heard of Brad DeBert? Yeah, I follow the DeBerties. Um, they they do some wacky stuff. Two-wheel meat cleaver. On Instagram, follow 406 Garage for some good internationals. 406 Garage is Ben Palmer. Fun fact, Ben Palmer used to own a company called MSD, Montana Scale Designs. And he was one of the early guys into Scale RC products. He was in Scale RC way back in the day with us. Um, it's Ben actually has a ton of old school RC knowledge as far as that goes. He's he was at the shop, the Vanquish shop. He came into town. Hold on, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, there was a cat fight. Like Mike J said, Nicole's gone. The cats are wilding. So they are going nuts. They don't know what to do without Nicole. Me either. So PFI speed for the win. Yes, I watched the 2.4 hours of Le Mullets last weekend, and I called the PFI speed victory at the beginning of the race. Nailed it. It was good entertainment. I was happy that I paid for that pay-per-view. I'll probably even watch the replay when it gets uploaded. Cletus for cheap shotted. Yeah, but you had to expect that that was going to happen. Learned how to drive in a Chevy, and now I own three Chevys, 2015 Duramax, 70 Chevelle, nice, and a 67 K20 Camper Special. I'll always drive Chevy. Funny enough, the first car I ever got to drive, like fully on my own, like not sitting on my dad's lap, was a red Jeep XJ. That was my mom's. And I would have a hard time pinpointing the year, but it was a red XJ that with the champagne bottom. And that was the first vehicle I ever got to drive 100% by myself on the road. Like my dad was still in the car, but I was fully in control. And I'm guessing I was, I don't know, 8 or 10. It was out by our farm in Sidney, Iowa. We had that's where our farm was with all of our horses and whatnot. Let's see. Whoops. Falling out. Oh, I put the wrong bearing on again. Damn it. I already put all the grease on. Did this on the front. I should really read the directions. Mine was a military Jeep, Ford, 90 to 92. Are you guessing that's what it was because of the color combo? I'd like to know. Learned to drive in a 73 Holden Belmont. Ooh, I wonder what that's like. Sounds like you have a cool dad. Did you own any Caterpillars? The first things that I ever drove on the road definitely would have been tractors, not Caterpillars, as Nicole would say. But drops right in. Funny when you use the correct bearings, what goes on. We had home video like one of the first times I was driving a vehicle, and it was my dad's Dodge, 4-door Dodge Dually Cummins, and it was a manual, and I was too short to see over the dash basically. So it was my brother and I when we were picking up hay out of the field. So we'd both jump out and we'd lift up a hay bale and lift it into the back of the truck, which would have been super high compared to how small we were. And then we'd run around the truck, jump in, and I would completely disappear from video because he was filming from the porch of the house at the farm. And I would disappear as I pushed the clutch way in and put it in gear. And then I would just let the clutch out and jump up because those things would idle themselves. So just whoosh, pop, jump up. What's your all-time favorite all-time dream car truck? Oh, I don't know that I would ever be able to make that decision. Like if I don't think I could pick one. Like just one. Like 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 race cars, race trucks, rock crawlers, daily drivers, like everything would be so. If I could only have one vehicle, I would have such a hard time trying to decide that. Like, I think that is an impossible question for me. Like, right now, the Gladiator really was like my ob- obtainable dream car because it really was. It was the truck that I wanted. I wanted it more than a Raptor or any other full size truck. Like that was the truck that I wanted. Now, granted, I would love to be able to throw a bunch of money into all the other things that would make it awesome. And I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon, but still, I am super happy that I was able to purchase that truck. You know, even though it's not my truck right now, it is definitely the bank's truck. And it will be for quite a while, but I'm very happy that I'm able to own it. But, I mean, I personally would really like to own a Corvette as well. I really like Corvettes. I always have. And, you know, would you like to do, what would you like to do to your Gladiator if you could? Realistically, the things that I would do would probably be, well, I'll do the wheels and tires. I'm going to do that. Just like I said, I'm going to do 20s with just a tire within an inch or so of what's on their factory, maybe an inch bigger at most. Um, I'll probably do a very just a leveling kit, bring the front up just a little bit, and then from there, I'd like to do front and rear bumpers, and then see some of the Gladiator accessory crap for the bed, just because I think it looks good. Josh wants to make it to a mall crawler. Okay, you know, good. Yeah, something like that. I learned to drive in a 1962 Hillman. I have no idea what that is. 70 Boss 302. Nice. I like it. ADV ADV1 wheels. I'm thinking methods are probably going to be what end up on mine. Because probably for obvious reasons, right? So we got rear axles all done as well. We do have to finish the front still. But since we're already an hour in, we haven't made a ton of progress, but we'll get there. That's a large thing to spill over the keyboard. '30s are nothing else, That's now even I will say I don't need to turn my Jeep into a donk. That's not what I'm looking to do. I just like donks. What model of method wheels are you going with? God, I have such a hard time remembering. A lot because a lot of the styles there's like two numbers for. You know, it's like I feel like it might have been 605s. Maybe that was right. I'm gonna go with bronze. I can't afford the VP machete wheels, so I got the China. Well, I won't go off on my ramblings of why I think supporting the knockoffs are a bad thing, but yeah, not something I'm okay with. Has anyone seen Mike Finnegan's new 200 mile per hour Caddy? I have not seen that. That I'm going to have to look into. The new table. I love the new table as far as the color and everything goes. The stuff like that's the reason I was after it. I actually have this exact same desktop on my other desk, my desk that I use for my editing PC. So I knew I would like the tabletop, and I really just wanted it for the looks. And so, yeah. It's not done. Oh, yeah. Let's hear it. It will be good for the views. No. Why no matte on the tabletop? Because I want the look of wood. Like that's what I'm going for. So the top will get sealed hopefully this weekend. But I want the warm wood look That was the point of switching to it. So, did you see Ken Block drag races his Hoonigan versus McLaren Senna? I did not, but that sounds awesome. Where'd you get that tabletop? It is from IKEA. They are $100. While I didn't necessarily want to spend $100, I think it was worth it. For the greetings from Chile. Thanks for checking in. All right, one out. Josh, so I grabbed SCX24. What hop-up parts do you suggest first? I really don't have a good list for you on that. I haven't really done a lot of hop-ups. Oops, I need to replace the pivot balls in these links. Even though these are only temporary links, the stock ones do not fit. I haven't done a lot of hop-ups on the SCX24, so I don't really have a good list to give you. Pink. Any plans on TRX parts? What do you mean? Oh, you mean like VP TRX parts? Not right. No. Nope. Yeah. Right. Okay. My Miatas were my ex-fiance's worst enemies. Had to get rid of one of them, and I think I made the right choice. You know what? Sometimes those hard choices. Where is that rod end tool from? This is like a 10-year-old hot racing one that I've had for ever. Well, I've had it for like 10 years, but there's lots of it's a set of shock pliers that also has rod end tool stuff. Do you know the specific name of the tabletop? I like it. It's something Scandinavian that I can't pronounce. Like, I don't know. It's like gherkin or something. Just look up wood tabletop and it'll pop up. Let me know when the black lacks are in the infiltrates shelves. Sorry. Yeah, so I started looking more at adding the third shelf in the backdrop because I really wanted to do that. But I ran into a problem with, if I do that, this blue light that's behind me, I call it a halo light, you won't be able to see that. That side is correct. There it goes. Should we send Josh some PPE? How funny. You leave my personal protective equipment choices alone. Move the light. Move the light? We are talking quantum physics here. What do we... No, I'm aware I could move that light, but the whole point of the light is that it's right behind me so that it hits the wall right there so that it makes that effect. If I have a shelf there, then it will be dividing me and I won't be able to have that. I won't be able to have that look. That is why I can't just move the light. Tabletop is the Gerton, Gerton. Thank you, Neil Rhodes. Gerton, not the gherkin. I wasn't too far off. Josh just likes to glow. I do like the glow. It's one of those things that I like. I like this halo light. I think it was a good addition, and I'm sticking with it. So he looks like an angel. And it's RGB, so I could... Let's go. There. Ooh, now I'm purpley. We could go full unicorn with the other lights and do there you go. See? Ooh. Crazy kids and your damned RGB lights. Yes. More RGB. That there. That there. RGB makes computers faster. I totally agree. Did you see that Axial is going to sell axles and shock kits, which makes so you could build a poor man's Vanquish VS410 Pro using Vanquish chassis and plastic transmission kit? I think that I actually thought about trying to put one of those together and just seeing, because I do believe that the only issue is that the SCX3, or what was it? Oh no, it actually might work. I might try and pick up all the parts to do that, because I actually tried to put a Vanquish solid axle in an SCX3, and the upper link on ours was too far to the center. But that should mean that theirs is further out, which should make it possible to drop that all in with a VFD setup. Any VS410 brass from VP. Not right now. It's not impossible in the future, but for right now, no. Dale C. 5. So Alex just peer pressured me into buying a brushless 13.5 2S motor. Do you have any recommendations on beefing up the stock TF2 rear end? Shim the gears tight. From what I hear, that should help with the TF2 rear axle. I don't think that there's any heavier duty gears, and I think that drifting, you should be all right. So I would just get good grease in there, make sure that the rear diff is shimmed pretty tight, and just... My camera is focused on my background? I don't think so. I think sometimes the image might just go blurry on YouTube. I'm not sure why. But it looks like it's, yeah, it's focusing. I can see the focus on me there. So, but I think that Alex would definitely have a little bit better idea. So I think he chose right on that. I think RC4 Drive sells heavy duty gear sets. I think they're the same though. How do you shim the gears? Do you have any videos? I don't, but you need to get bearing shims that are the proper size for the inner diameter of the ring gear. And you'll want to shift the ring gear towards the pinion until it's just good and tight in that. Not so that it's binding, but just good and tight. So, good and tight. It's German. RC4 Drive has a video on how to shim their diffs. Hey, Travis Gilmore, thanks for that tip. Oh yeah, these wheels do not fit over 6mm stubs, so we may have to drill those out slightly larger. Pull these throw the stock axles in the box with the rest of the other. Oh, the other one's still on it. I'm a little late on the fence on getting some tracks for one of my. Wait, I'm a little on the fence on getting some tracks for one of my rigs. I have never seen someone. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody be super happy that they invested in tracks. I think that plenty of people have bought them, but I just don't know that I've ever seen anyone just be like, man, I'm glad I bought those tracks. That was worth it. I'm totally having the best time ever with my tracks. Like, it's a cool idea for the snow. And it's, yeah, you know, like, I think that now I'm not saying I don't have some dumb stuff and I haven't spent money on things that have very narrow use cases and are nearly useless. But I think that's what makes me qualified to speak on this type of purchase. They aren't even good in snow. That's also what I've heard. There's a reason tires are included in the Trax RTR kit from Traxxas. Yes. Glad I spent $200 on tracks. Used them once. Yay. Circle Maker. Exactly. I have never used the Circle Maker other than on live video showing that the Circle Maker is useful. So, you know, like, trust me, I buy dumb stuff. Tracks have never made it onto my radar to where I'm like, I should buy tracks. As someone who owns a snowplow for his RC, I too make dumb purchases. Yeah. And the high racks from Proline are better in the snow than the tracks. That's what I'm saying. And that makes the circle make worth it. I don't even know what that said. And that makes the Circle Maker worth it. Yeah. $1,000 cage from a 14-year-old. Hey, I'm not. So I will say that during the start of those negotiations, that cage started at $2,000, and I said I was willing to pay $1,000. I will still stand by that. In the end, that I will make money / break even on that deal. I'm not saying it was my best purchase ever, but it'll be okay. If you need 4 paperweights, tracks are for you. Now, I will say that Moose Jaw and I live in Northern California, but we are near snow. We can get to snow whenever we want even, but we do not live in an area that gets snow daily. Break even my backside. Oh, it'll happen, Mike. You just wait until I get that thing stripped and repowder coated in a cool color, put a cool drivetrain under it. That thing's going to be worth money. I'm telling you. I'm standing by it. So we got these. Let's see. I will never get done. Example, it will never get done. Example, no prep drag car. My no prep drag car is over there in running condition, other than the fact that it needs the body painted and a wing put on it, other than wheels and tires put on it. Other than that, it's done. What is the cage that you're yapping about? I'll have to show you. It's all the way over there right now. I should just continue working on this thing. But I did want to check out a couple things. While we continue with the axles, which we're going to do, I did want to... So we do have some generic China shock towers that were sent with this truck to install. I don't know what these brass bushings are all about, but since I've never installed the China shock towers, we're gonna do it. Josh, you made a comment about aftermarket parts for Element Enduro are going to be harder to make. Can you elaborate? I don't know if I said that they were going to be harder to make. I think the comment is that Element had decided to try and make their truck like backwards compatible in a way. However, they didn't. Like they didn't actually make the dimensions the same enough to make parts compatible. So you have to have you have to make a part that is almost exactly the same, except maybe a millimeter off in one area. And they did this in numerous areas. So for people like us at VP, that means that we have two parts that are almost freaking identical that need to be always need to be made sure they're separated, and after they go to heat treating and come back, that they make sure that they stay where they need to be. And it's like things like that make it more difficult since it is a whole new part itself. It's not compatible with anything else. The Element doesn't necessarily have as big of a following as, say, an Axial. So it causes all of these little issues. And that is why it makes it more difficult. It's actually not more difficult to produce. It's just that it makes, like if they would have just, like if you're going to make it compatible, if you're going to make it backwards compatible, make it backwards compatible. Don't just like do it almost, because that's worse than just making it different. And that's what they did. They did the worst thing. Now, that's where things like where China, who has, they can labor the issue to death. They can just put a ton of labor on it and it's not a big deal. But for someone like the size of us, it's just, we have to look at what, how it's going to affect it. We're a small shop at VP. So, definitely could have used some deburring or finishing. The screws don't fit through. That one does, just not that one. Oh, that hole didn't get drilled. Didn't get drilled all the way through. They countersunk from both sides, but they did not drill through. We can fix it. Actually, I don't need this. Watch the clearance on the rear China shock towers. I had to grind mine slightly to clear the UMG body. Yeah, I mean, if these stay for the long run, that's another decision, but they might not ever get ran. The bushings are the shock spacers. Oh God. That's China stuff for you. There we go. Parts are a little rough. They did not deburr before they anodized. Okay, I have shavings. Josh, say hello to Trevor for Travis. Hello, Trevor. Where's Trevor? Oh, there you go. Travis Gilmore. Can my son Trevor get a shout out before he has to go to bed? He popped in to say hi. Again, hello to Trevor. Thank you for joining your dad. Thanks, she made his night, I think. Yeah, there you go. One. Thing's gonna break before plastic. You know. Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes it's, you know, for me, I get to install something new that I wouldn't have bought. So you can see how different people do things. Sometimes it's interesting experience to see these other things. Oh, the body post holes are in completely different places. They're pushed all the way, they're pushed back like a huge amount. Oh, if you bought these and had a body already done, I'd be so pissed. Whew. Good thing the UMG doesn't require the front body post mounts, but because it mounts, yeah, either way. Enough with the flashing light. There, it's back to solid blue. Where's Nicole? Nicole had to go back to Kansas City for a family emergency. So she's back with family right now. I'm not sure if I will see her for Thanksgiving or not. So we'll see. Swap them out for the VP shock towers. That is the route that I would like to go. But for now, I'm going to install these just because. Why not? What shock towers do you like on the TRX platform? On the TRX, I ran, it depends on which one. I mean, honestly, the stock shock towers on the TRX4s are really good. It's, yeah, I've ran the ones that are built into the fenders for the nice scale look there, but yeah. I'm fine, Josh. It's fine, Josh. You can eat turkey with the cats, right? Will there be a stream next Friday? Oh, no, there will not be a stream next Friday. Nicole and I were supposed to fly to Mississippi for Thanksgiving. But I don't know if she'll be back to go with me or not. So that's so I will be, unless I stream from Mississippi with like my brother, and maybe I'll bring my stuff and I'll find something, I'll make my brother build it. We'll do a live stream from Mississippi. In where that Gulfport, Mississippi. Well, wish her and hers the best. Hope all is okay. You know, yep. We will pass it along. It's a long week. Let's see. I'm going to give KM3s a shot. Oh, KM3s are good looking tires. I don't know how they prefer. Live stream Thanksgiving with us, right? But I think that's what I should do. I should get my stuff, and I'll take my laptop with me, and I'll bring my camera and all that, and we'll just I'll find something that my brother has to build on Thanksgiving next week. Hopefully I can find something quickly enough to that I can have it in time to build. And I'm gonna have to find something that, because I'm gonna have to take tools with me. And I don't normally check a bag, but if I take all that stuff, I guess I have to. Legos. That's a great choice. I wonder if I could find what I could find in time. New wheels. Yes. Rob, did you send me wheels for this thing? I can't remember. I don't remember what, I didn't have them in the box with the rest of the stuff, so I felt like there was some RC four-wheel drive wheels that came at some point, but I didn't see them. But maybe you just sent me a picture, or you showed it to me on FaceTime. I can't. Sometimes I forget all of this stuff. When's the next budget build off? I don't know. We have a few other things coming, so that we have to get through that stuff first. Make him build an SCX10-3. That's a pretty simple build in my opinion. SCX3's that's a lot to build actually. It's a pretty long build. Honestly, I'm hoping to have to work Thanksgiving Day. Hey, pay can be good, right? Guess who's here, everybody? Say hello. What's up, Succopotamus? What are you doing? What are you doing? You hanging out? You have something to contribute tonight? No? Yeah? Raw builder's kit for him to build. That would be a good one. That is a good one. The screw liquor in the house. What's up? Before I finish everything else, I do want to look at some of these other things that were this is the LCG metal battery servo relocation mount. We're going to take a look at this thing because again, I'm curious. Suki, would you like me to move the keyboard? Is that in your way? You feel better now? She's getting big. She is getting big. She's getting quite big. What's up, Suki? No. That is not Suki water. It's spicy water. Let's see. What are you doing? She only comes and visits me when Nicole isn't here. I know where I sit in this. I kind of miss working retail on Thanksgiving. I never actually had to do that. I was lucky there. We when I worked in the stereo shop, we didn't that really wasn't like a big thing. Just because Nicole is better than you. Yeah, I'll give you that. She's definitely nicer. A better person in general. No more knocks to give, and I'll send your Noryu family south to Norway. Martina will be with us next weekend. So, from Norway. What's up, baby? Screw liquor. Hi. Good baby. Be a lady. Can't stop that one. All right, where'd that one go? We're gonna put the portal stuff aside for a moment. I'll get back to that, but I want to play around with some stuff that I haven't played around with before on the stream. Suki's playing in boxes. Your cat sat on a pepperoni. Have him build the Tamiya Escort. If it was available, I definitely would. Suki said, butt view, check. Mission accomplished. Do I have an AX10 Scorpion? Not anymore. I haven't had an AX10 Scorpion in a lot of years. So we've got this tray and 2 aluminum mounts. Now there's slots up here. I'm imagining these fit into the frame rail arches. I can see the arch there. And I'm guessing they bolt in about like this. So now this said, I'm almost positive that this said servo relocation bracket too, but I don't see how that's possible. I threw the tag away. There it is. LCG battery, metal battery / servo relocation mount for axial SCX10-2. All right, let's go to Club 5's site. I'm going to check what that is all about. Club5racing.com. Axial. Let's see what they have. Don't miss out on special offers. Where is it at? Axial SCX10-3 UMG. Let's see what they have there. The servo bracket is separate. Oh, okay then. So I don't have that. I only have the battery mount. So, okay. That is fine. Yeah, I see. Yep, I see exactly. I think they either mistagged it wrong or I don't know. Rob bought that. I hope he didn't pay for the whole bundle because we only got one of the 2. I'll find that out later. Let's pull this stock battery tray out and see what else we have to get rid of. A friend of mine was a guardsman and he found an AX10 sitting in a can at the top with a radio and everything, grabbed it from him. Hey, bonus. I know, I just put those shock towers on and I'm already pulling them off. Hey, good night, Tor. Thanks for joining. Thanks for donating. Appreciate it. Watch the rest tomorrow. So yeah, I'm actually kind of, I'll call my brother and see if he's he'll do it. I know he'll do it. He has no problem being on camera whatsoever. I will say my brother is the smooth talker out of the 2 of us. All right. How much of this do I have to... Oh, well, that's going to be interesting, though. How... Well, that just doesn't work without the other bracket. Because it goes where the servo is supposed to be. Yeah, that straight up is just not going to work. Nope. It eliminates the servo mount without finding a home for it. Now we could do a, I'm thinking, could do a servo on axle F9 mount. If I scoot that all the way back, it'll go on about there. Won't clear, not even close. All right, well, can't use that. Oh, let's see. And Rob texting me. Didn't mean to waste time. If they suck, they can go. And it's just not gonna work out because they didn't give us all the parts we need. So it doesn't bother me. It was worth the shot trying it out. Oh my god. So Nicole is, I believe anyway, she is calling the Amazon device in the other room to talk to the cats, which is the creepiest thing in the world. Watch the other part be there. Oh, I'm positive it is not. There's only one of those two parts. What servo are you going to use? We've got some direct power options. We have I don't know, we have a handful of options that we can run. Something with decent power. Probably I'll want to have at least 600 ounce inches in here. Just because the terrain that he's crawling in is very boulderous. So you're always going to have a lot of weight on the car and kind of you're going to need to throw it around. And having a good strong servo is always a big benefit. Josh only uses 1,000 ounce inch servos. I have 1,000 ounce inch servos, but not gonna lie, I can get away with 600. 600 will do in a pinch. Have you tried reef servos? I have in the past, but they're not ones that I choose to run. I run the Futaba servos. I've got some of the Holmes servos. I have most of my servos are Futaba. But I also have some of the Tekin servos. They're not as strong, but they still have been reliable for me. And I do like some of these new direct power options. The Holmes SHV 500 or SHV 400 V3. Is that it? Or is it 500 now? That 1,000 ounce Futaba servo costs as much as the RC itself. You can get them for like 180 bucks. And if you start dividing that out dollars per ounce inch, it's not the worst deal that's available. I'm going to hold, please. We're going to see if Nicole answers. Stop being creepy. What? I can hear you FaceTiming the cats in the other room very clearly. Yeah. You're being creepy during the video. Everybody says hello. They miss you more than me.
Yeah, obviously.
So, all right. I don't know. All right.
Fun.
Yes. Changing it up. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
They miss her more. Just to get her to stop using the ellipsa. Oh, we gotta put this back in the pan hard. $2 Nicole makes Josh wear his new shirt. God damn it, Dale. Oh, wait, do we have a screw for that? We do not. That used a countersink in the factory. Have you used any of the Three Brothers servos? No, that's not one that I have not gone so far as to use theirs. For the most part, I would stick with the Holmes or Futaba over that. Let's get this panhard back on there. Late today working on a Saturday as I missed most of the stream. Oh yeah, that's there's that. My buddy's TRX4 eats 600 ounce servos for breakfast. He is running the wrong servos then, because a good servo, I'll put a beating on a servo more than most sane people, and I haven't blown many servos in the last I don't know. I think the last servo I blew up was at Proline by the Fire last year, 2019. Have you seen the new Pro Modeler 930? I've seen the Pro Modeler stuff. I've ran them in the past. They're just, again, it's not one that I choose to go with. So, I'm guessing your buddy needs to adjust his endpoints, or he's running cheap 600 ounce servos. Dale C. I don't know how it got so funny. I made a legit compliment after watching an old video of yours. You're no longer the old thick boy, Josh. We know Cam's add 10 pounds. Yeah, I have did lose quarantine weight, lost it, did well. All right, let's see what else was sent. We're gonna throw these stock shock towers in the box. Those around. I hate when people don't answer their ads on Marketplace. Honestly, I really feel like Marketplace Messenger is screwed up both ways, because I don't know how many times I've messaged someone and not got a response, and I don't know how many people have messaged me with the is this still available button, and then I'll say yes immediately and then never hear. Like, there's no way you hit that button. I responded in 7 seconds and you didn't. Like, no way. These are GRC stainless steel, both sides chassis. Stainless steel, both sides chassis protection for SCX10 axial SCX10-2 UMG 10. Very, very well labeled. All right, let's see how these things fit. They say they're for this one specifically, so. I don't hate these. Not at all. Kind of cool, actually. I kind of like them even. You got to put them on the correct sides, but yeah. All right, let's bolt these things on. I really hate when people don't respond when they try to buy all my stuff, and I want this deadbolt gone. Yeah, I'll give you $350, Alex. $350. All right. I found a deal on chairs for Blazer, and he's not messaging me back. I've found so often. How heavy should a good performing crawler be? I think later on the video, the only ones I sent were extras that I had. Don't know how they will do. So let's see. We'll do for other options. Okay. I think are you talking about the wheels, Ron? I will check. There we go. Ah, it's starting. What body is going on this? This will stay with the UMG body. UMG wheelbase, UMG body. No change there. I think these sliders are actually going to be pretty cool. They're stainless, but they're not very heavy. There's not a lot to them. They just have a. They're going to add that stainless or that metal slider style without adding a bunch of weight or anything like that. I'm on board for this. So. No portals in front? Yeah, the portal in the front's right in front of me. I just have to put the knuckles on it and all that. I just haven't done that. I've been bouncing around just to kind of mix it up for the stream part of it. What are you all bidding on? They're all bidding on Alex's deadbolt right now. I don't know what it is, Alex, but I will raise the bid to $50. So, that. I think that's gonna. Sliders, not bad. They're obviously made for this body. They're gonna be better than the plastic ones. So. We are going to do a transmission swap. So this is going to come out. Oh, and we're going to go to a dig. So this battery tray is going to have to come out anyway. Likely what I can do is I might be able to just CNC my own. Jesse Schultz, $55 or I put everyone in a timeout. Moderators abusing their power. I'll allow it. Isn't the Panzer military-ish? Yes, the Panzer is what I put on my UMG, which is right there in the dark. This was the other thing that we were talking about putting on this. This is the DSM off-road self-recovery system, which I think is super cool. I actually had this here myself. And I told Rob that we could just throw this one. Hey, Chad. How do I... Papa Leo? I don't know how you say your last name. Thanks for the donation. First time I've seen you. I built the Enduro and did the IFS conversion. I have what I think is excessive steering slop. I have a good servo and aluminum horn. Any thoughts? Yeah. That their steering rack setup has got like just a lot of wiggle and a lot of play going on. I'm guessing that's where it's coming from. And it's one of those things that I don't know that there's like just a fantastic solution for. It's just not like, I don't want to say it's not a good kit. It's got its issues for sure. I had put one together and I was just like, there's some things about this I don't love. So yeah. But so it's one of those things like checking how much rocking it has and kind of moving around. That's where I think that you'll find that type of issue. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit this through the bumper fair lead without, we're going to open it up. X-Acto surgery it is. We have a fair lead here to cover up some of this. We're just going to do some plastic shaving. Hold please while I do surgery. Okay. There we go. Come on. There, I got it. Oh, I'm sure that's a great noise on stream. Oof. Well, might be okay. I'm just trying to think of how this is all going to work. We're going to have a 3 gear in here. Now, the point of these systems is this whole thing is actually a bungee. So the point is to have a bunch of line interior to the car. That way you get the stretch of that whole thing to add to the distance you can actually pull it. It's kind of a cool system in that way. I like the idea and I like the theory behind it. I think it actually works well for that. I don't really love running a winch, but something like this I can kind of see being a little bit more fun. So for that reason, I'm a fan. But let's see. But it has this here, which is a bearing supported. There was a washer that went on the bottom as a shim, and I definitely will have to make a new one of those. Yeah. Don't forget the fair lead. Yeah, I do know that we do have a fair lead here for this. I don't know. We'll go. It doesn't have to go on right now. But it's more about just laying. I mean, the whole truck's gonna end up, going back. Together, apart, together, apart. Like that always happens 10 times while building these things. But more than anything, I need to find a spot for this, for the pivot that would work to try and keep some tension. Now, the other thing is I'm going to have a 3-gear transmission with a dig. My thought is that I'm going to offset it and have it run the length of the chassis on one side. I think that's going to be the best bet. Oh, Addy Monster RC, $2. The McRib is an overpriced school lunch item. Fight me. You're not wrong. But there were some school items that were school lunch pizza. The square pizza. Did you guys have that, or was that a Midwest thing? Like, I'm just saying, I would go for some school lunch pizza right now. It's not because I'm drinking spiked bubbly. So, let's see. Now, we do need a... Where are we going to put this? We had it in Nevada, Michigan here. I had square pizza in school. Yep. The hexagon Mexican pizza was dope. We didn't have that in school, I promise you. I mean, we had that at Taco Bell. That was about it. I had it in Pennsylvania. School lunch sloppy joes were okay. They were passable. We had square pizza in New York City. School lunch meatball heroes. We definitely did. Where did you have meatball heroes? Where did you go to school, Tommy? 1504. Rectangular pizza. Loved it. See? Still good. I think brick pizza for lunch in school, and it wasn't. Yeah, I'm telling you, it wasn't that bad. Alabama, Missouri, yes. You mean cardboard with cheese? Okay. So, it sounds like people agree. School lunch pizza wasn't terrible. There you go. We also had, school lunch chicken sandwiches that were awesome. I remember they were so good that we actually got a box of them from the company that sold them. And I think it was, what was it called? It was like Cisco or something like that. And we bought and then had them in the freezer, and it was like summer snack, like if we needed a lunch, things like that. Good. What about wiener wraps? Nope, didn't have that. The shredded yeah, no. Always looked forward to it on Fridays. That's right. The school lunch pizza was on Fridays. Not every Friday, but Fridays. Yeah. What size tires do you have on that? Right now, these are the stock axial. What are they? Something like MT45s. They're stock right now, which I think they'll actually probably. These tires might get put onto a different set of wheels. Yeah. Required listening. Pizza Day by the Aquabats. Okay. I will listen. Is it a song or is it like an audio something else? We had nachos also. So good. Nope, we didn't have that. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. I will also give you that one. Also another good one. So, this is the pivot for the line. I'm going to install this for now. This is something that may get moved around, but I'm going to install this pivot for like the actual install of this self-recovery strap into where the servo winch mount would normally go. Again, once we get the 3 gear in here and all of that stuff, we may have to make some other guides, maybe a 3D printed guide of some sort. The other thing is that we may have to pull up a little bit of the slack, and then like it may have to kind of like get attached onto the roof or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Good. Like I said, we can get moved around, but I want to put it in there for now. So, it was a song about school lunch and it rules. Done. I will listen to it. Rhode Island. See, school pizza was everywhere. The roof, whatever. Mike J making fun of how I say roof. Roof. It's the roof. You go on the roof. This is the motor and ESC combo that's going to go in there. It's an AXE system. 540 system, 2300 kV. That's going to drop in there. This is the V1. It's not the new R2, R1, R2, whatever they call it. Hey Josh, Aquabats are a ska band. Adam Sandler's Lunch Ladyland. I do remember that one. But sloppy joes. I know you kids like them sloppy. What the fuck? Right. FOC. So, all right. Need to finish that other one. Please show us again the blue rig on your left. Okay. Oh, yeah. The blue rig is a VS4 Ultra. It's all built up. It's got Method 101s on it, Proline crawlers, CI foams. I built this on one of the streams early in our Friday Night Live streak here. It's got a Tekin RX4, Rock 412 3100 kV. It's got a Hertz dig in it. Suits did the body. It's got the Knight Customs cage. He did a wood bed in there. It's all like kind of weathered and fits well. It's got a figure in there. The whole thing is done really well. And the color is cool. Now on my lights, it's definitely very bright, but it's got like a nice dull finish. But yeah, anyway, this rig, it was, I think it was a little nicer than he ended up wanting to actually run and get all beat up. So this one, I'm going to take some photos of and going to list on my website. So I need to get that done. I got it unpacked so that I could do that, especially on my nice new table. But that is another to do to get to done. I do need to find a place to pivot this thing. I don't know where that's going to be yet. We're going to figure that out. Definitely needs to be in the rear. I'll either come up with a design and I'll 3D print my own or something. Price. For the most part, I'm gonna try and calculate up basically what he has in it. It's brand new. It turned out to be just fancy. He built it with all nice stuff, and then it's basically the same setup I run in my Ultras and all that. He just did the nice suits body and the Night Customs cage, and Night Customs weathered it all, the cage and everything. Can you elaborate why you don't like the one brand of servo? Three? You mean Three Brothers? I don't not like them. I just don't. It's not. I think it's just basically the same as the other as several styles of the other one. That they just. I don't think that they're actually doing any engineering on almost any of their stuff. I think they're just rebranding basically, which there's a lot of companies that do that. Nothing wrong with it. But I do like what I've known Holmes for a long time. He's been somebody who I have learned a lot from his experience. I appreciate his level of engineering in the hobby. It's not the level of engineering that most companies go to, and they don't have to. But I think that for that reason, what Holmes does is important, and I like to, if someone else is trying to just OEM a servo that's trying to match that, but I do feel Holmes is trying to engineer and improve the servos that he's having made, I would rather support that direction. So I'm not saying I don't like that. I've never ran one of theirs, never ran one of their motors. I don't feel that the things that they're speccing are really anything that is, I don't feel like they're actually doing the same amount of what that's being put into it. So that's why. It's an opinion is all, just like all of it. That's why as they say, it's why they make brown shoes and black shoes. Some people like brown shoes, some people like black shoes. My dad had said that to me a billion times growing up. Josh, I thought you said you don't like the XE run systems. I don't really care for them, but I understand where their strong points are, and their strong points are that they're very smooth down low. Even if I feel like they're a little bit low on power, they are very smooth at that real low modulating speed area. And while that's not an area that that's not the area that, where they show, I don't like how they make them smooth for me, my driving style. They try and control and modulate things for you, and I don't like that. But Rob, who this truck is for, he really, that super slow, consistent, smooth thing, he actually does like. I actually sent him with my Gatekeeper, and my Gatekeeper has got the Fusion set up in that. And I just let him borrow that for a while so he could drive, and he was like, he liked that, which I kind of thought that he would. So he decided that he wanted to run the axe system in it. So that's what we're going to throw into this. I've owned the axe system. It's just not for me. Again, it doesn't make it a bad system. It's just not for me. So I understand why, and I thought that he might, and that's why I gave him my Gatekeeper to run for a while so that he could see if he did, and then he did. So we are. There you go. Would you recommend the XE or a home setup? I much prefer the Holmes setup for myself because I like to modulate the power myself, and I feel like the Holmes systems have a lot more power. They have way better torque down low, and I feel like their high end is better as well. I feel like the FOC systems kind of neuter the power by trying to modulate everything themselves, and I don't like that. So that's why I don't choose to run them. But I will say I really liked the convenience factor of that Fusion all-in-one. That Fusion all-in-one, having the ESC and everything right on the motor, like as much as I don't like the FOC stuff, I loved how compact that little thing was. 100% was like, this is cool for this. With the pluses it gives versus the other, I'm all for like that setup. In some situations, that little Fusion, that Hobbywing Fusion setup, worth it all day. And these, so what was it? Josh prefers the most expensive ones. This thing is not cheap at all. This is, you can get a Mamba Mac or Mamba X and a Holmes motor for like the same price. So it's like the price is basically a wash. The nice thing about a Mamba X, you can run it with all kinds of different motors. You can do whatever. These, it's like you have to run the FOC motor with their controller. Like there is no mixing and matching. So these I feel like are a expensive, dedicated type deal. But again, doesn't make them bad. It's just not what I love. So your friend should put portals on his UMG. Change the shocks to 80 millimeter. That's what we did earlier. See, it's got a portal already. The other portal's right here. We just haven't finished putting it on. I agree. It needed portals. It was a good choice. So we have some other things. We had to pull this transmission out, put a different one in, put a dig in it, re-engineer a battery tray. But it'll all come along. Thoughts on the Phantom systems for drag cars? I have no experience there. I don't have any drag car motor experience. I have a Tekin Eliminator 4.5 with a Tekin RS Pro Black, but I don't know how that drives or compares or data logs compared to the Macklins or the R1s. I don't know. Castle or Tekin ESC? Yes. I've got a lot of both. I have Mamba X's and I have RX4s. I like them both. The Mamba X is cheaper and it's really close on features. So I picked that one up quite a bit. I do like how smooth I can make that RX4 at times as well. I like the auxiliary channel programming on the Castle better. So it's just back and forth. Thoughts for over and under drive for the Vanquish portals. Yeah, the overdrive gears for the portals are a great pickup. They are even a little bit stronger than the standard because they're a little bit closer to the same size. So it helps gear strength on the top gear especially. A little bit of a side benefit. And then if you wanted, you could run the underdrive gears for the rear axle, and then you end up with like over 20% overdrive, which is pretty great. So just make sure you gear your transmission appropriately. No prep. Go fast, go straight, pop off the wheels at speed. Moose Jaw and I went to a no prep last weekend. I went there to film everything and charged all my batteries the night before for my camera. All was great. We got to the race. I started filming. I was like, oh, I need to change my batteries, and realized I forgot all of the batteries on my bench. It was not great. Double pulley with one each side of the chassis. That'll take up the slack. That is something I think that might be a good option. I do want to get the 3-gear transmission in there with the dig servo to kind of see how it all is gonna fit. But I'm thinking, yeah, like some sort of double. But what I'm also thinking is that I could actually either CNC or mill a new rear thing. Like rather than using this pulley, I could make my own. That's just like a nice smooth, so it gets just a nice even pull all the way around. To try and fix all that, we may have to come up with some. Like this whole thing is a pretty good idea, but it is not the simplest thing because you got to run this system all the way through your vehicle and try and keep it in a line to keep it. We're gonna figure it out, but it's not simple. But it's not gonna be that complicated either. Worth it. So Josh is starting to rent an RC, huh? I think that I have enough collateral of Rob's that having him borrow my gatekeeper was not a big deal. And I didn't have a huge use for it at the time. Josh, out of interest, what motor and ESC did you use in your semi-truck build? Well, I haven't because the semi-truck is still completely in the box. I will likely use a very basic ESC and a Holmes 55 turn motor. So 55 turn 550 can. How did Dan's new chassis do? Dan's new chassis had zero issues with performance. However, the motor that was in the new chassis had a bad sensor board, so he didn't even run it. I was going to head down to there to Antioch, but went striper fishing. I immediately said stripper instead of striper. Whoops. I think you're supposed to trim them down to fit the chassis you are putting it on. Well, I guess that's possible, but it's all like, it's got heat shrink around it with, logoed heat shrink and all that. I don't know that. I mean, I guess you do it on the hook end, but I guess I'd also like to make. It's not the length. It's like, I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, the length would be easy if you trim that off and then retie that end. Not a big deal. We could do that. We'll see. I'm more worried about the getting it from point A to point B. Holmes, Castle, or Tekin motors. For motors, I go Holmes or Tekin. I do not like Castle's crawling motors. The slate motors, I just don't like them. They're a little low on torque for me as well. What do you use for bait? $20 bills? You could hard pipe it. Weight isn't an issue. The tube with moderate bends, you could give you more freedom. That's true. You could try and kind of get it through there. I don't know. We'll see. Once I get the transmission in, I'll have a better idea. The cable is catered to 12.3. I don't think that's the case because the chassis length is still the same regardless of the wheelbase. So I don't think that has too much to do with it. I think it's just that you got to make stuff fit. And a lot of this stuff is catered towards custom builds where you just have to make things fit. What is my favorite Holmes motor? 2700 kV Polar Pro V2. It's a great motor. I love running it on 4S. It's my favorite. If I'm not running 4S, I do like the 3500 kV, but 2700 kV still good on 3S, but great on 4S. Just singles, but I'm not a rich man. What is that cable for? I'm still a noob. I mean, this isn't a super common part anyway, so even if you're not a noob, you might not understand. So this is a DSM off-road self-recovery system. So it's basically supposed to take the place of a winch. Normally, you could add a winch to a vehicle that you power off your radio and you can pull it out and then hook it onto something and then power it in. This is a so it's a bungee, so it's this length here. It'll sit on a pivot and you could grab it and stretch it up to an obstacle, and then it will, by bungee tension, pull you forward. But the point of it going to the rear first and then up there is that, say, elastic stretches 100% of its length. So it'll go from 1 foot to 2 feet. Well, if it was only 1 foot long, you'd only get 2 feet of stretch. But now that it's a total of 2 feet long, you ended up getting 4 feet of stretch. So that's why the length is added that way. And it just, that's the theory behind it. And it works out that way. That's why they give you that bearing pivot for the rear to try and make everything function as smoothly as possible. I'm going to slingshot that if I keep trying to do that. So yeah, it's a cool little idea. I like it. Engineering with bungee cord. But yeah, DSM Off-Road are the people who make that. And I think their website is just something exactly like that. Just punch that into the Google box, and I'm sure you will find your way to their website. That's great. My first non-stock motor was the Revolver 2500 on 3S. I'm relearning how to drive my truck. Bigger on 4S is nice. I like 4S. Josh, in reality, you will get 3 foot of stretch. Yeah. Whatever the stretch is. I was just giving an example of why the extra length is there. And I was just using a hypothetical stretch percentage that was easy to do math-wise. So that was the purpose of that. I wasn't saying that you'll actually get 4 feet of stretch out of that. Those were hypothetical numbers. So they're a very simple thing if you just understand the theory behind them. There's not a ton you need to, it's a quick thing you get, and then you're like, oh, cool. I have the shorter one, came out first, works great. Yeah, absolutely. DSM makes good products. I've seen, this was actually, what did DSM bought something from me. I can't remember what it was. He bought a truck from me. I don't remember which. I think, I know which one. It was the ugly truckling. I think that was the one he bought from me. And then he PayPal'd me, and I saw his PayPal came up as DSM Off-Road. So I Googled it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then picked one up. Move the dead end of the DSM as far to the front of the frame as you can. Oh, by the way, hi. Yeah, I've got it up here. I mean, technically it could go further, and I will. Like I said, I put it here just as a placeholder. It'll all get moved around. This whole battery tray has to get redone because with the 3-gear transmission facing forward, it's going to interfere. So we have a lot of re-engineering to do to make this thing work exactly how we want. And I may remove the battery tray completely and then design up something to put a smaller pack on the side, keep the weight as low as possible, probably run something tiny like could run something like this, which is a 3S 1300 milliamp pack, but still a 95C, so it still has good punch. You run something tiny like that on the side. While you don't get a ton of runtime, you get a very small amount of CG penalty, versus a big battery, which gives you a lot more. So run this on the side, super low. While it's not as far forward, lower is more important. What 2.2 tires besides high racks? My Bomber's needing some new treads. None. High racks are nothing right now. And so, did you ever finish your giveaway? It's almost done. It's getting close. So, Suits is finishing. He's buying a new house, moving, all that. The truck, though, itself is in really good shape. We'll have some more updates on it, but it's pretty close to done. So, what motor should I put in a 2.2 long wheel, TF2 long wheelbase? Something, I would run like a Crawlmaster 16 turn, something that's not going to put too much stress on it. The Crawlmaster brushed 16 turn. Cheap, easy. Hey, Jeremiah, donation. What have I missed? I was sleeping, working a graveyard shift tonight. Ooh. We've got an SCX10-2 UMG on the bench. We installed a portal on the rear so far. We've almost got the front done. I just haven't finished it to install it. Played around with, we threw some shock towers that he had on here. This is a truck for Rob, a friend of mine, and he had sent me a bunch of parts, kind of playing around, throwing some of them on here, seeing what that looks like. And this truck will end up, we'll pay attention to performance on this as we go. We do need to add a servo, but like I said, battery mount, all that's going to be important. How to speed run a TF2. Put it into something that's safer and more reliable, and then don't speed run a TF2. That is a very poor. I've picked some very dumb cars to try and speed run. A TF2 is beyond anything that I would even begin to try and speed run. It's a weak drivetrain and a very fragile body, and anything RC four-wheel drive and speed, I feel like is a bad combination. RC four-wheel drive does some awesome looking stuff, but nothing I would say that is like well built in as far as like high power or speed. Strap the TF2 to an infraction, some duct tape, and go. I would also include a lot of bubble wrap. You might, even if you strap the TF2 onto the infraction, I would still be more worried about the diffs on the TF2. Sounds like the perfect monthly mayhem challenge. I think that monthly mayhem challenge would go a lot like trying to make the associated car fly. It'd be a complete waste and just pure frustration. You would literally turn those diffs from the TF2 into toothpaste. $1,000 cage that Josh is somehow going to break even in. I'm going to recant my break even statement. I'm going to make a profit on that vehicle. You watch. When that truck is done, that is going to be a $2,500 to $3,000 truck. You watch. Quit talking about speed in the TF2. Quit that talk about the speed in the TF2. Dale, you're making a drift truck. That is a much lower stress than speed running. Drifting, yes, it's a lot of RPMs, but you're not like no traction. So I think you have a better chance of success than someone trying to speed run. I call bull, Mike J says. It's going to happen. When that truck is done, you mean like the 50K truck? Oh, that truck will be done long after the 50K truck is done. I still have to. So I actually have two trucks. I've got that red Power Wagon that I paid a substantial amount for as well. But it's got some good parts on it as well. More like Josh is going to spend $3,000 to finish it. I mean, it's going to take more money to finish it. I'm not going to lie. Still, though, the equity's there. I can tell. It's going to look good. You just wait. If you thought about how to lower your semi, Josh, if not, you should mount your springs under the axles. Boom, slammed. I haven't built the semi truck part at all yet. So that is... once I get to that, I'm going to focus on the trailer first. Actually, the PC components are in there right now. And, but hopefully I can make some progress on that. Shh, Nicole is listening. Nicole watching these streams. We'll see. Funny how Josh suddenly won't say how much he spends on trucks in fear of his life. Nicole's watching. She's not watching. I don't believe it for a second. No, the red Power Wagon there, I bought for $750. But She is listening from Alexa. Yeah, we'll see. I think you looked around to see if she was there listening. Just out of instinct. Spring-loaded spool for the bungee. Spring-loaded spool? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. You can mount the springs under the axles. They don't mount. You can't mount the springs under the axles. They don't mount that way. Yeah, like I said, I have not looked at that at all yet. We'll get there. We'll get there for sure. So I'm not too concerned, but that'll be all right. Speed runs on a VS410. I think that would. I mean, that'd be a lot like the deadbolt or drag bolt. The only thing would be, same thing. It would be getting the reduction back out of it. So I'd have to pull the VS410 or the VFD transmission and then run like a center diff again, like I did in the drag bolt to make that thing scoot, and that worked great. The open diffs on the TRX6 helped a lot, but obviously that's not going to happen in a VS410. We've got to see these such high value vehicles. All right, I'll get back to work on this later. I'll probably. Which one should we grab first? Should we grab the Power Wagon or should we grab the $1,000 cage? Don't let Matt do speed runs. Curbs. Exactly. How did you fix the panhard mount? I don't remember. What panhard mount did I have to fix? You're talking about the Element? The giveaway truck? Oh, that one I'm actually going to bolt on the Element. I'm just going to bolt on that new one from the Gatekeeper. Just bam. Done. Either or Matt. Oh, Ben, the Woods Runner. Okay. We'll grab that. So the Woods Runner, definitely one of my favorite builds for almost as long as I can remember. So this truck came to me and it looked really good as it was, but there was so many little things that I felt could be fixed or improved on that I had a really good time doing it. We reorganized the whole bed. I put a chrome VS410 radiator set in. We got this was one of the samples, but we get chrome detail sets made of all the VS410, like light buckets, grills, door handles, all that kind of stuff. So I used one of those and put it in the back. It had this RC four-wheel drive fuel cell, so we used that. But then if you see the bed floor in there, you can see that it's aluminum, and that's one of the metal stamping projects that I did. So I actually created two halves of a 3D printed stamp and then stamped thin aluminum to give it that ribbed look like a truck bed would have, like appropriate to a C10. That was super fun to me. I really enjoyed that process. The interior I redid completely. I pulled the dash out, I pulled the seats and all that it had, and then I bought these RC four-wheel drive PRP seats, and I made some cool mounts for those that you can pull two screws or two pins out basically, and then the seat just comes right out. So that's kind of cool. The dash is another really cool one. You can see the whole top again is actually aluminum, and that's another stamped piece. Now this dash is all going to get replaced. I've redesigned it because we're going to put in the Ben, what is his name? Scale. He's over in the UK, and he makes some like cool little displays. And I've redesigned that, and I've got to figure out exactly how I'm going to end up finishing it. But Scale built. Thank you, Moose Jaw. So, but this dash is a stamped piece that mounts. You can see the front of it is 3D printed currently, and then it's a stamped aluminum top, and I'm so happy with that. It was so rad. I'll just take the body off. We did a bunch of work underneath of the front end as well. Isn't that Matt's truck? This is not Matt's truck. This was never Matt's truck. This was always my truck. Well, it wasn't always my truck. I didn't build it at the start, but so up front again, this is another stamped nose piece with some wire mesh behind it. But the reason that's done is when the hood's on, it helps, like when you look in from the fender well, it covers up everything. I did some aluminum fender inner liners. And then again, I did another stamped metal piece up here. And it all came out so good. The other thing that I did is I put you can see it's got a forward mounted motor now. And this is a high altitude performance front motor mount setup for an axial 3-gear. So it's a standard 3-gear transmission, which you can't really see. You can kind of see it from like in there, but barely. Anyway, so it's got a forward mounted motor and it has a dig, all just packed in there. The servo for the dig is turned sideways, and it's a UC Fab servo mount. So it's all just tucked in there. It sits right behind the seats. Like you can't even see that the dig servo is in there. You can see it right there. See it, the red, where is it at? You see, there you go. Yeah, the red right there, that's the dig servo. Just hanging out behind there, all hidden within. And then the one issue is that this does use the Vanquish offset D44 axle. Now I don't have the screw in there, but so to do that, the third link, upper link, is on the passenger side. Well, that's also where it offset the motor to. So the upper link for the 3-link was in the way. And to fix that, I did it's like kind of like a radius arm. So you can see right here, I TIG welded on a upper link mount so that it went in, and then it holds that front axle so that it won't rotate. So it's kind of like a 2-link with panhard, a little bit different. How much for this rig? This rig was sold already. This rig now belongs to Ben Benavides in this chat. It was more than I've sold a truck for ever before. It was a lot. So, I actually sold him 2 trucks at once, and I was not ready to sell this truck. So I didn't want to sell it, but he made me an offer on both trucks combined that I just decided I needed to do. So this truck is truly like one of my most favorite trucks that I've finished up till this point, even though it's not totally finished yet. It will be. Still say Ben will never see it in person. Ben will, well, only if he decides to sell it before he gets it, because it is going to go to him. But I mean, honestly, I freaking love this truck. It was so good. 20 years later, still isn't done. It'll be done, but pretty freaking cool. I really loved how this truck came out. I thought it was cool when I got it, and I think that the changes that I had decided to do made everything else worth it, and it's freaking rad. You can see in through that fender well. You can kind of see the window on that aluminum work. Why I did it? Yeah, I I love this truck. Let's see. So I already broke down this truck completely, but this is the chassis of the truck that I paid $1,000 for. However, it has a RC four-wheel drive scale motor transmission with the GCM transfer case that goes on the backside of the transmission. And then it's got all custom body panels made for it. And they are actually, there's some good looking body panels. They need some work though. They've been toasted. So this chassis, I sandblasted it first and it just, this powder coating does not want to come off. So I need to send it to somebody who's got a much stronger powder coat or a much stronger sandblaster. Can you take photos and post them on the blog? Of what, Mike J? Of what will I take photos of? So yeah, the I heard Josh wants to powder coat all the metal on this rig for maximum bling. That is one thing. I do not like powder coat. I hate powder. Soak it in brake fluid first. Yeah, I've seen the soak in brake fluid or paint stripper and then hit it with a torch, and either way. So there's some of those things that I could do, or I could just give it to a sandblaster and have him do it. I think the Woods Runner is worth more than this rig. Oh yeah, the Woods Runner is going to be worth more than this truck. This truck is going to be cool, but the Woods Runner is cooler, for sure. So, but this truck's got a lot of custom to it. It's going to have to be baked off before blasting. Yeah, we'll see. I'll figure it out. We'll get it off of there. I'm not too worried. Brake fluid will rip the powder coat right off. Less than like .3, but the tube work that was done on this was done very well. Whoever did it was skilled. Aircraft remover works wonders. Yeah. As a former powder coater, I think it's fine for a lot of things, especially automotive dress-up parts, but at this scale, it's too thick. Totally agree. Line X Ultra is the way to go. 10 times stronger as powder. Yeah, but it's too thick. Line X is just way too thick. Honestly, for RC parts, freaking paint. Paint is the way to go. When it chips, it's easy to blend into. It's easier to strip. It's not as thick. It's better. Freaking paint. Safi, you're fine. So, then we've got this guy. Cerakote's another option. It's a possibility, and there's some cool color options. So that is an option that bouncer may get. But this is the other one that I picked up. Now, this was a comp style truck built out of Utah by his forum name was Distinctive PD. He's out of Utah. The metalwork on it is done very well. It was built as a class 3 truck originally. It was built pretty competitive. I'm going to build it more as a class 2 style. You can see it does not have any rear. It I think it doesn't have a rear gear in it because like it came with with a gear set. I'm not really sure what. Actually, it doesn't have a front gear in it either. Or maybe it does. I don't remember. I think I remember now. It does have gears in it. What it doesn't have is hex pins in the hexes. So that's all it needed. It was something simple. I couldn't remember. It didn't come to me with wheels and tires. I added these wheels and tires. So yes, it was $750. It did not have wheels or tires. It does have Vanquish Curries under it. So it's got Curry rock jocks. It doesn't have drive shafts. It doesn't have a transmission. So I knew all of that. Like I said, it was $750, which isn't cheap again, but the cage work that's done on it, everything that's there is going to end up, even after finishing what it's going to cost to finish this, it's going to end up being worth it. Like I bought this and it was for sale for like less than 15 minutes. And I was just lucky that I messaged him first, because otherwise it would have sold to somebody else immediately after. Are you selling any trucks, Josh? I currently don't have any for sale. I need to finish mine. This one will be for sale. I just have to finish calculating the cost and taking a couple of photos, and then I'll put it up on my website. But that's a VS410 Ultra. It's all done. So what's the difference between powder coat and Cerakote? I don't know the chemistry difference. I know that powder coat is a lot thicker, but I honestly don't know the chemistry difference between them. They're very different, but what size disco potato is that sticking out of the hood? That is the Axial Turbo from the Wraith 1.9. And I think that is cool. So, yeah. This one I've got a new body for. And this was built by somebody called Distinctive PD. And I think that I'm going to I'm going to pull some, that's going to tie into the final look. Detailed pics of these trucks for our inspiration. Yes, I do plan to do videos on all of these. I just need to, it's just a matter of getting it all, fitting it all in the schedule. Night, Alex, thanks for joining us. Let's see. So yeah, this cab pulls off with a couple of screws, and then all the tube work up front, or the metal work, it's all custom done, super low, CG. It was designed for a TGH style trans, or one of those, so it'll get something along those lines. Pics are easier than video, less editing. I know what you mean, but video is what actually gives me some return. If I just put photos on my website, I don't actually like seeing some sort of return on the videos, as far as watch time and support is what makes me able to buy these things. So any of these things that I'm able to buy, it's just because like any money I do make on YouTube just goes into getting more stuff to make videos of on YouTube, so that I can sell them to buy more things to make videos of for YouTube. That's the whole point of what I'm doing. I don't actually make any money doing this. It's all just so I can buy more toys. Once I quit doing it, I'll have a collection of things that I could then sell, so I could make money doing this. But other than that, I don't make money doing this. Other than that, it is just money in from playing with toys to buy more toys to make more. It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious, awesome circle that I'm very lucky to be able to do. And I'm very happy for that. But it is not a profitable one. Now, the fact that I have done so much live video during all of this like quarantine time has made a lot, you make money on like watch time. So the fact that we've had such, like, you guys have hung out for a huge portion of tonight. Thank you for everybody who has. Like, there's been over 300 viewers almost this whole video. You guys are awesome. That actually helps a lot. The watch time numbers and doing so much live and having so much watch time like that is a big part of YouTube. So being that I had so much more interaction and everything during this time has made my YouTube numbers look much better. And therefore I've ended up being able to have more revenue out of it. And then I end up buying trucks like this that you guys make fun of me for spending too much on. I'm stimulating the economy back by giving any of the money I make to other people in the hobby. Oh, you're still here, Josh? If you just leave your phone on and walk away, that's fine. Just let it play. Put it on your TV. I'm boring. I have nothing better to do on a Friday night. Let me tell you guys about how boring I am. Somehow lately, I have got onto my YouTube videos. I have been watching geography-based videos. Interesting facts about maps and interesting facts about demographics and geographic type. That is boring. But something popped up in my feed because of it. Safi, come here. And that is a guy who plays an online game called GeoGuessr. And if you go to this website, it basically drops you into a place on Google Street View, and you have to guess on the map where you're at. And then it gives you a score on how close you were. Let me tell you how excited I was to play that game. You can only play once a day for free. Now, I didn't pay for more, but I was like, this game is awesome. That's how boring I am. Hey, that's what I do. If you're streaming during chore time, then you sit on the counter. God bless Bluetooth headphones. Hey, that is perfectly good. GeoGuessr is so 2018. I just discovered it and I thought it's awesome. So, yeah. Play Among Us with the rest of us. I have not played it yet, Jesse. You know what? I'll download. What is Among Us on? Is it on Steam or Epic? I think it's on Steam, right? I'll buy it after the stream. And I will play online. I have 5 online games besides YouTube. Yeah. And so I watch some of the dumbest things on YouTube. I swear I'm not an interesting person in any way. You guys are obviously aware of that. It's on mobile for free. I like PC. I don't play a lot of games, but when I do, I like to be at the computer. And so yeah, it's on the computer. I know it's on the computer, but I'm currently just messing with the SCX10-2, watching the stream on my TV through my Xbox. See? And somehow how'd you comment through your Xbox? Do you have the pad thing? I watch Fireball Tool on YouTube. I don't know what that is. I watch a lot of machining channels. I watch a lot of drag racing. What is it? I like Cletus McFarlane. I like 1320 video. A lot of that stuff. I watch a lot of that. So, yeah. You know the other thing. It is 9. We have been going for 3 hours. You guys are off, and there's still so many people here. You guys were great. That's true, Dale. Uh, he built a 1,500-pound vise. Ooh, I'll have to look at. I like some like the A-Bomb Garage, and there's a couple of other the machining channels that I like. See that Lambo wheelie? I have it on my watch later thing. I haven't watched it yet, but I can already feel that my voice. Do you watch This Old Tony? I haven't watched. I've watched some of This Old Tony before. He just something about his presentation style just wasn't my bag. So sometimes it's just about how people present, and I'm just like, I can't. I also watch a lot of PC channels like Linus Tech Tips and um, Bitwit, Jay's 2 Cents, those guys. Josh's favorite. Josh's favorite channel is Scale. I've never missed a Scale Builders Guild video. I'll say that. Um, I'm out crawling at the beach in the morning. Where are you at, Nick LaRusso? I'm out crawling at a beach. Oh wait, are you going out? I'm out going crawl. Were you there already? Is it already morning? It's midnight here and I'm 9 beers deep. I was drinking spiked bubbly tonight. It's been a long week. I love the Grand Tour is fantastic as well. I'm waiting for the next season of that. I can't say some of the YouTube videos I watch. I said no talking about that stuff on. Oh. How's the suspension on that truck? RC Steven, you're trying to goat me into it. Going crawling in the morning. Pigeon Point. Oh, I've been to Pigeon Point. You're out here then, on the West Coast. Just got done with my drone live stream and then and this popped up. What is this? I like cars too. Well, Mr. Bot Grinder FPV. Yeah, this is mainly about vehicles or RC cars, but mainly the scale side of off-road. This is a VS410. We were going over some of the other ones earlier. We were working on some cars previous to that tonight. This is a Friday night stream. Generally, this Friday night stream is about half wrenching and then 3/4 BS. And that math works out about as well as Friday night streams do. So, have you watched Project Binky? No, I'm not familiar with that. Nice, bro. Subbed. Hey, thanks. I also like the FPV stuff. I'm not very good at it. I've cracked. Funny story about FPV. Now that I've sold the Soul Sucker, and Nicole is not watching also, I'll let her in on this secret later. I had a dent in the side of the Soul Sucker, the 2016 Honda Accord, in the passenger's door, and it was a good dent. And I always blamed it happened in a parking lot or who knows what. The real story is that I was flying my FPV drone, and flying is a loose term. I was learning how to fly, and I was doing something, and I don't know, whatever I was doing, I ended up crashing hard, but I basically crashed in a way that made that drone turn into a cartwheel. And that thing, I still had my goggles on, and all I heard was, and then just, and I took them off, and the frame of that drone put a nice dent / crease in the door of that Honda. And from that point on, I was like, ooh. But I never admitted to anybody how that dent got there. Nobody. I lost my 4S pack during that crash. I can't remember. The drone flew just fine after I changed the props. The drone flew. But yeah, everything else. Addy Monster. Hey, do you like crawlers? Ever heard of Vanquish products? Yes, thank you. Bot Grinder FPV. Also, I work full-time in the RC industry, and you should know that everything I say is very biased. Learning on 4S. Okay, damn. I built my setup based on like what my coworker Brandon, who raced FPV, he's like, this is what I'm running, this is what you need to run, and he just set me up. And at the time, like, an F4 flight controller was what you had, and I can't remember what the frame I had. I bought all nice stuff. I bought all stuff that was good quality, and I didn't buy anything cheap. I didn't buy a cheap carbon frame. I bought just all good quality stuff to try and make sure that if any of the bad experiences that I had were from my own inabilities, not from poor quality products. So, all of the bad experience I had were because of me, but I had fun. It is expensive. I have nice fat shark goggles that I've used 6 times. But I do have FPV wings also now that I would like to fly more, because the FPV wings are I that was the part of the FPV drone stuff that I actually all in Bardwell videos. Oh, I've watched so many Joshua Bardwell videos. And I liked the Mr. Steele, while he can be kind of whatever, what I liked the lifestyle style vlog stuff that he did. I liked how he presented, especially in the earlier stuff. So I watched a lot of that stuff. I went full in on trying to learn FPV because it really was, it was interesting. It's a whole different side, and there's so much information in that, and how to tune and things like it takes somebody who's super dedicated to stay up with it. Either way, I really enjoyed it for what it was, but I would like to get more into the FPV wings, just because I enjoyed more of the soaring around rather than the acrobatic stuff of the FPV drones. So, Josh Anthony, I see the suits painting. Yes, you do. This is a suits painted body on a VS410 Ultra that's all finished, but this truck is going to go for sale. Even the tire still has the goo between the treads. FPV, a crawler, is so fun. I love pulling up to the edge and driving down it. I do like soaring. So that's the one thing with like FPV on vehicles, is I just don't feel like it gives you the right sensate. Like with flying, you're always moving forward. So it you're always moving forward. So it always feels like you kind of should have that view. But with driving a vehicle, especially a crawler, you're always like in the real world, you're always looking, constantly scanning. You're almost looking right in front of you is probably a smaller percentage than almost anything else. You're always looking at tire placement. So it doesn't give you that real feeling that I feel like FPV flying does. If you like crazy people with face tattoos vlogging and ripping FPV, check me out. Nice. Sure. If you have an Instagram message me. It's the same as my channel, Harley Designs Inc. And face tattoos don't bother me. One of my employees at the shop at one point, he was we had an incident one day where one of my other employees, there was several sheriff's vehicles that pulled up to remove an employee from the facility. It turns out that at the time he was falsely accused, and he was released before he left the area. But the one of my guys who was like kind of running the floor at the time, he's like, out of all the people here, I'm the one everyone thinks is going to jail because I have face tattoos. It's all these guys. He's the only one that probably didn't have a nasty criminal record. Sometimes machine shop employees can be rough. Head tracking with a 360. With a 360 cam, that would be interesting. Yeah. I wonder how that would work. That would all just be software based, because the 360 camera wouldn't actually have to move. So that would actually be pretty interesting. Because technically you could get then 360 degrees of view, and you could artificially affect your viewing angle. That would actually be interesting. somebody should really put that into place. So Josh, what about an FPV camera on a servo mount that does a 180 view? I mean, they have all kinds of head tracking. My Fat Shark goggles have head tracking stuff. They have the ability with you add a module and then you can have head tracking. That head tracking isn't rare. It's just it's been one of those things like it hasn't been something I was like I should do this. My hands and neck are tattooed. Okay. Tattoos don't really bother me. I don't even, or it doesn't like I don't have any. It doesn't really make me wonder about anything anymore. Like I don't know. Like I know it used to be like a much bigger deal or stare. Like having tattoos below your, or was it below your elbow or below your wrist? That used to be like a thing, or like a I don't know. Like you shouldn't do it below your elbow so you can cover it up with a short sleeve shirt or whatever it was. I don't know anything about it. I don't even have a tattoo. Nicole has tattoos. I don't. Yeah, I got your message bot grinder. Right? Matt Ket's all kinds of tattooed up. Like I always joke with Matt. I'm like, out of the two of us, the people who would think that which one of us is all tattooed? It's technically the shirt sleeve and it's for the front and custom. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Nicole has more guts. Yes, Nicole definitely does. So she's got, I don't know, she's got a bunch of tattoos. Not a bunch, but she has tattoos. So Nicole is the badass, right? She's definitely more adventurous than I was. You guys have some weird tattoo. I'm gonna, we'll approve Larry's, but that is a weird tattoo. I didn't realize Matt was so tattooed until this year of the live streams, right? You learn a lot on live streams. Nobody better tell Nicole how I put that dent in the door. She won't care at all. Nicole really doesn't. She's pretty low key. You think you spend a lot on RCs? Oh, I've seen what a good tattoo artist will. One of our good friends back in the day was a tattoo artist in Atlanta. He owned or still does, I believe, owns a tattoo shop down there called Aces and Eights. Kenny McGee, and yeah, it's great. It's just like anything. People who are good at their craft charge for it. So, anyway. Well, I am losing my voice. So, we are going to call this night. You guys were freaking awesome. I appreciate it. Let's go for like 5 more minutes. We'll go to 9:20 my time. Wrap this thing up. Call it a night. I'll finish a couple of things up. I'm going to try and get up in the morning and I'm going to tear this desk back apart so that I can seal this thing tomorrow, because I'm really happy with the look of the wood desk. I think that it helps with the warmth, as they say on video. I'll give $5 for a thick boy tattoo. Not a freaking chance, Dale. I always thought that tattoos were advertisements, that you were going to be capable of making bad decisions. Damn, no face shot with the DSM. Yep, I did not snap myself at all. I'll borrow my friend's tattoo gun and do it myself. I've seen those as well. Is it actually bare wood, Josh? It is. Currently, it's bare wood. Like you can feel that it's not perfectly sanded even. It's got a little bit to it. It smells like wood. But like I said, run the same one out there, and it's such a nice wood top. And I'll pay for one for you tomorrow on Orangevale. Not a chance, Larry. I'm not getting what I made a deal with Nicole for our 7-year anniversary. I'm going to get a tattoo. That was what I said, but that's like 2 years away. This is for making a great stream and dealing with my Instagram messages. Well, CJ, no problem. I'm happy. I'm not sure which messages were yours on Instagram, but I try and answer as many as possible. Yes, IKEA's finest. It is. It is an IKEA. It is $100 IKEA wood top, but I'm very happy with it. And for what I'm doing here, I think it's perfect. But really, I do like the. It's better than the black that it was. So, so you're skipping the 7 and jumping to 8. Jonathan Cronman, 99. I thank you for your donation as well. Haven't seen your name pop up a bunch, but I appreciate the donation. Thanks for joining. Let's see. My cousin gave me an on-road kit, but since I have only a SCX10-2, I don't know what to do with it. Man, build it. Build it. Put something in it. Put a cheap ESC in it. Like, if you have something, just rock RC. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem, CJ. You don't even send me that many. Trust me, I have some people that send me a lot of messages. But I can't always answer all of those. But I always try. Thick boy on the lower back. No. But yeah, if someone gives you a cheap RC car, just find a way to get it running and do something dumb with it. Put some body, like just do something with it, and then if it's a running RC, you're gonna be able to get something for it. In the end, you'll be fine. Flying cars tattoo, servo tattoo, shock shaft. No, none of those things. God. Who has a tattoo of their favorite? I have seen multiple axial tattoos. That's the only RC company tattoo I've ever seen, but I've seen more than one axial tattoo. Don't forget to change your backlight back to blue so that everything matches. I know. It's not a tramp stamp, it's a booty billboard. Wow. You're keeping me awake while driving. Well, Eddie, I highly suggest rewinding or finding the next video so you can still stay awake, but I'm not going to be able to talk for too much longer. My voice is almost completely shot. I will get a Vanquish tattoo. I will provide you with some sort of parts compensation. Surprised there isn't a VP tattoo. There might be, but I don't know of one. Great, now I have to get an axial tattoo. I do have a 5th of 190 proof Everclear. Oh, I didn't even know you could buy that anymore. I won't even know what happened. Been seriously considering an axial logo tattoo. Like I said, I've seen multiple. Old Australian movie called Malcolm. Guy uses a sand scorcher to rob a bank. Watched it like 20 something years back. Had forgotten it until now. Hey, look down your shirt and spell attic. I know that joke. I have an 8-hour shift. Let's see. Must keep the live going till 7 a.m. my time. Oof. That. I don't have it in me. You can in Wyoming. Yeah, you can't tell people what to do in Wyoming. All I know is that I need to play GeoGuessr after this video. Because I gotta get that. It's pho eating weather. Pho eating weather. I had pho yesterday because Nicole was gone. Nicole does not like pho. So she was gone. I got a order of rare beef pho. Put it all in one giant bowl. All the noodles, it was so good. It was one of my favorites. I haven't eaten dinner tonight yet either because I got home late, came in, scheduled the stream, got it started, and so I'm gonna have to see what food I can have delivered still because I shouldn't drive. So we're gonna have to, since I had an adult beverage. WTF sounds wrong. No, it's so good. Hey, Michael, 5 and dime. Appreciate it. SGRC gang is all here watching on crawlers and enjoying another great show. Thanks, Josh. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. SGRC. Where I don't know where SGRC is. South Grand Rapids crew. Sawgrass RC. What? I don't know what SGRC. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. What is that from? Their pale noodle. That remind me of the pho is Vietnamese beef noodle soup. Pho is one of my favorite things. I had never had it until I moved out to the West Coast. I'm positive that it exists in the Midwest. I just never had it till I was out here, and I freaking love it. Sloppy Grandma RC. What? Monty Python. Oh, okay. Monty Python. SGRC is Slides Gang RC. Oh, all right. All right. Must be drifters. You don't have to be in the video. Just put Sookie next to a rig and wrench. Let's see what happens. Oh, you can't tell Sookie what to do. She came in and made an appearance, but she was like, okay. You've been told what that means. Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm just bad at remembering. Do you like California rolls? I mean, California rolls are not what I would order for sushi. Like, I love sushi. California rolls are low on my list of. They're good. They're just very plain. I like. I don't know. I like more actual raw fish on mine. Some tuna. Ooh, I could go for some sushi tonight, but I don't know that that's going to happen. It's a little late to try and order sushi. There's still places open though, so I'm in luck. So rather than having you guys watch Monty Python's pants in the shot. Yeah. Is that in Holy Grail? I couldn't request for Holy Grail. That was such a good one. Who likes spaghetti noodles in their chili? Mm-mm. If you can get down to Stockton and 65th Expressway, there's a place with great pho and the best damn Vietnamese sandwiches. Vietnamese, I don't know what a Vietnamese sandwich is. I've only ever had pho. Like, super cheap too, by 99 Ranch Market. I know almost nothing of Stockton, other than there's certain areas you shouldn't venture to. But yeah, I don't know what a Vietnamese sandwich is though. Now I have something else to look up. So I don't like normal. Was normal shows? Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I was like, I don't remember that. It's South Sax. Oh, it's South Sax Stockton Boulevard. Okay, I get you then. Not Stockton. Spam with mac. I don't like. Hey, Sookie is here. Sookie is here before we leave. What do you? Oh, she's eating 3D printer filament. Psst. Hey, cat. Damn it. She's where I can't reach her too. There. Say hello before we go. You being good? You're being a pain. It's the slides. So yes. Hey, psst, faint whistle, blow cat. But yes, no, it's been a great stream. Appreciate everybody for joining. Yes, catfishing. She responds well to this thing. Good kitty. You want it back here? There you go. Good kitty. I think that it's going to be an interesting. She's sitting on the back of the chair. I don't know why she does this. Would she stay in an RC so you can give her a ride? I don't think she's very interested in them, but I don't know that she will ever sit in one. So, but anyway, I'm done. I'm literally stretching my voice as much as I have left. I'm not going to be able to talk tomorrow. So, you guys were all awesome. I appreciate. Let me to everybody who donated. Appreciate it. Dale C, Rob Farmington, Pleco Nation, Tor, Dale C, Gigawatt RC, Scott O'Blander, Quack RC, Dale as always. I appreciate it very much, sir. Addy Monster, Chad Papaleo, Addy Monsters, Jeremiah and Dale C. RC Dave charged up. I missed that one. Dang it. I'm sorry, but hopefully he sees that later. Didn't mean to miss that one. CJ, John Kronman, Michael Five and Dime, and Jeremiah. Again, thank you. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. I'm not sure which. Actually, hopefully I can make all the streams again next week. So we'll see. I got to figure out what to get for my brother to build and tell him that I'm planning something that he has to build. Hey, Seth's RC Garage. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the good night. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Have fun this weekend. Go do something fun. See you guys later.